I felt like there was supposed to be a part 2 to that. And I think there very much so is. The last video that I just took was about the death process. And the death process truly is really about the sense of duality, which I've been speaking on for at least a fucking year. But things have kind of gotten a little more fast forwarded. So about experiencing things. There isn't a key. There is a key. And the key is you. Just you, not your thoughts, not any of those things are involved in the process of experiencing things, of enjoying things, of allowing things to be yours that we've been told for so long aren't ours. Yes, sometimes things hurt, and it's okay, obviously, to allow yourself to feel those things, but sometimes all you need to do is to feel the sunshine, to breathe, to find the rhythm in your step, right? Because you can always find rhythm in the chaos. Chaos is something that our minds have created. So if you can allow yourself to slow that down and find even just one of the rhythms in the chaos, the rest will start falling in alignment with those things. I know one thing that helps me is taking check of the things that I'm grateful for every day. And sometimes we forget to allow ourselves to be grateful of even just something as simple as this, is sitting with the trees and like the ability to experience tasting something good, like, you know, somebody who made you smile during a day. You know, right now is a time of a lot of craziness, and if we can learn how to avert our eyes to what's willing to come in and wants to come in by paying attention to what is already here, that is fruitful for our experience, more fruitful things will come in. It seems like a stupid thing to try to make a video, right, about how to allow yourself to feel good, but I do believe that for a very long time it's been something that has been taught as, you know, people aren't worthy of it or whatever. Sometimes the key is really just to be, and to sit with your own voice, take some space from other people's energies, and come back to your voice. And even doing something like this, like, you can ground yourself a little bit better when you are feeling upset, like, or even when you're writing, like, you can write whatever it is you need to write, and by the end of it, if you allow yourself to come into yourself, by the end of it, you may be very surprised as to where you can balance out the brain, balance out the emotions, and making sure that your emotions don't take complete, total charge of you. It can literally just be the simple things. It sounds so corny, but it's so true, is like seeing the small things, which we often don't take the time to actually sit and see the small things that we're grateful for at the point, because we have been taught for God knows how long a primal instinct. I was speaking a lot on the fact that there was a falling away of more of the primal nature that has been taught for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years, however long, into coming into more of a it's okay to feel good. Those things are innately your birthright, and I feel that some people may really need to hear that. Like, we are not put here, or we are not here experiencing this experience just to feel pain or to worry about how to pay the bills and everything else. And it may sound really naive for me to say in the middle of what is happening globally right now, but and those are very real concerns everywhere. There's very real concerns with what's going on politically, with racism, with many, 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 many things right now. But the thing is like, there is a time to allow new things to come in, and how you allow these things to come in is changing your resonance, your vibration. Even if you take a little bit extra time every day, like you might start off with like 5 minutes a day to just breathe and like see what you have, and feel what you have, and feel that fullness of what it makes you feel. Because the thing about feeling gratitude is when you are in that mode of feeling grateful, the true essence of feeling grateful, it fills the heart space, and at that point there is no room for other things to come in. So even if you slowly bump up the increment from 5 minutes a day to 6 minutes a day, 7 minutes, blah, blah, like if you can start changing certain vibrations during your daily habitual thinking into something that is honed into something more special, more sacred for you, a point where you can just feel your own sacred energy, and breathing in the gratefulness with that, like breath work while you're making your grateful list, whatever. More of these things will come into you. It's not making the list in the idea of, I want more of this. It's, I have this right now and I'm really grateful for it. When you have that genuine gratefulness of what is going on, even if it's just small things, you could have so much going on in your life, even if it's just the small things, you are rewiring your focus as to what is actually transpiring that is good for you now, that is yours. What happens is you're changing your vibration, and the way I like to look at it is like they have like that sacred geometry that is like that funnel around you. When you are putting out how grateful you are changing your resonance, you're changing your frequency to something different, which when you change your frequency towards something, that is what you are walking more into. More of these things will come to you. But like I said, when you make these lists, like even on your worst day, like just try to take the time to look at these things. There will be more of a sense of clarity, because you are now seeing, as you slowly increment these things higher, like these times every day higher, like you are realizing that it's harder and harder to stop seeing what you are grateful for on that day-to-day basis, because you are allowing yourself to see the small things that a lot of us humans tend to overly complicate. It's kind of like there is a need to fall into the master alchemy. Like there's a time for destruction and there's a time for creation, and we have been in a time that has needed destruction for so long, and we have the destruction upon us, but we also need people who set a better image rather than just focusing on the destruction, because we have all qualities about us. It's like there was a video I was watching the other day, and somebody was saying like every zodiac has like their one polar this, which means that they have the equivalent of that intensity in the exact opposite pole, kind of like north and south, like the magnetic poles, which are also shifting, which it makes sense because we are all shifting as individuals every day. Some people are just a little bit more of a stick in the mud about it, but it's a new time of being. And in this time of new beingness that we have, it's time to allow ourselves to enjoy the experience that we're experiencing, because we are seeing so many things happen on a political scale, on a global, like on all these scales that we have never seen. And some of these things that are happening now are things people will never see again to this degree. And there is beauty in destruction, but the thing is some of us really need to allow the rebirth to happen, rather than mourn the land that has been charred beneath us. And it was like I was saying in the last video, like the tears, the emotions you're feeling with that are going to help by not keeping them pent up, to allow that ground to be smoothed out for you to create something bigger, better, and beautiful. But there is a need to see the flame that is within you, and that flame is a resonance of everything that you are and everything that you have a birthright to perceive, to experience, to feel, because emotions kind of have a negative connotation. We've been taught for a very, very long time that, emotions make you weak or whatever else, which if you can redirect your emotions by not allowing them to consume you as an individual, and allow yourself to just be, and also allow yourself to just feel happy, the things that bring you joy, taking like an actual inventory of the things that bring you joy, you will be very surprised at what comes out in this list. I actually started trying to take a list down myself of the things that make me happy the other day. And sometimes you're in such a suspended motion of like, who am I? Where am I going? What's going on? Like, a lot of people feel very, very, very directionless right now, which obviously makes sense with everything going on. But when you can actually sit there and take inventory of the things that make you feel happy, you may be at a point of confusion of what you've been doing to make you happy may no longer serve you. And that is okay. We are meant to evolve, as one of the things that is constant in this life is change. The other thing that is constant in this life is love. If you allow yourself to feel it, if you allow yourself to feel that resonance, that frequency, and understand that it is innately your frequency, the frequency of everything that is around us. Many people have a hard time with the feeling of space, with being suspended in time and not knowing what's going on. And if you hone your focus in on that, the white noise will consume you. So with this feeling like new things are coming in, if you overly hone into these things are coming, they're coming, it's almost like you're always acting like they're out of reach, when they're already here. It's almost like we need to be in this energy of allowing ourselves to embrace these things when they come in, because they may be things that I'm feeling like these things are right there. They've been right there, but we have not allowed ourselves to be recipients of that, to be open recipients of whatever these changes are, because we've been looking at them as challenges. Yes, this life does have challenges, and that is what helps amplify our growth. Just like when you lift weights, your muscles kind of tear away from each other so that they can rebirth themselves into something bigger, better, and stronger, something for you to be able to use in further challenges, right? And you slowly move up your pyramid of strength into the sense of beingness, because things will become easier. It doesn't mean that you are going to all of a sudden stop having challenges. It's how we deal with the challenges that are presented to us, that are given to us. They are actually gifts. If we allow them to be that, and allow ourselves to feel the gratitude in every motion that does happen. These plates I was talking about in the last video that are shaking, like, there is a pyramid of who you are. That is who you have always been and who you always are, because everything is now. The time is always now, which means you forever are, you forever will be, right? So even as you're changing, these are all parts, they're all principles, they're all interesting. It's almost like there's a lesson of aerodynamics that is happening. Sometimes when you push yourself really, 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 really hard and you want to go faster, like for example when you're running, you're actually slowing yourself down because you are thinking at the point that you're not fast enough. But if you are allowing the wind to take you where it needs to take you by allowing the resonance to be whatever it is at that frequency, to allow that that you already have these things, that these things are yours, that you getting somewhere, that you're already there, that, you know, rather than the need, you find yourself there. Even when you feel like you may not know who you are still you, you know? And it doesn't mean that you have lost your voice or anything like that. It's just sometimes we have points where we need to feel the space to really evaluate what we want into our lives. And the best way you can do that is rewiring the brain waves, rewiring the thought process, even talking to yourself, you know, like that is definitely something I did a lot of back when I was in Connecticut. You just take a drive and have honest conversations with yourself. And that is when you allow that higher voice to come out. There's a very big reason why I do not like to use the terminology higher self, because that implies that it's outside of you. We do have multiple fragmented parts of ourselves, but they're not fragmented. They all resonate at different times, at different frequencies, to help us with different things. It's not just black and white. And when we allow ourselves to stop seeing things as black and white and to allow ourselves to feel the experience as it's happening now, we find we have that innate feeling of gratitude, of gratefulness, of just breathing and being so happy to just be breathing, or to feel the sun, or, you know, whatever it is. It's definitely made it very hard, because on a global scale everybody is having a feeling of lack because of what is going on, and you have that constant pressure outside of you that is happening. So sometimes you may need to take space to get outside in nature, where you can transmute that energy with both feet in the dirt, sit right next to a tree, underneath a tree that has seen hundreds of years of so many things. Trees, for example, we're going to get a little poetic real quick, they allow their roots to go, right? Out here, for example, I have seen a lot of trees that pull up sidewalks. If they want to go somewhere, they're going, right? They're going to go there, and they keep growing, and they don't ask anybody for permission to grow, right? I feel like someone needed to hear that. They don't ask anyone or wait for anyone for permission to grow. If they need to grow around another tree's roots, they do that. I don't know, maybe the trees have a whole entire, like, you know, little contract. If I'm going to go here, you go here, and we'll just miss each other. Or maybe we can just, like, hug each other underneath. That is the other thing, is I was also, right after I ended the first video, I was getting a visualization of, ants have been coming to me a lot lately. And when you think of ants, they work together to make a greater picture. And that's the other thing about ants, is when they make a tunnel, they will make it work. Whatever they've got to do, they make it work. And they work together. I do feel that people are going to be falling into some pretty heavy soul tribes, like lifelong soul tribes. So if you have multiple people that are feeling their abundance, you are going to draw in other people who feel their abundance too. Because it's funny, one thing my mom always used to say was, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And like, to a degree, that is not to a degree, it's very, very true. You have friends that are too focused on what is going on that's yucky, that's going to draw more things in. And like, obviously everyone resonates with somebody to some degree. We allow people into our field, or they come into our field because we resonate with them to some degree. So if you have somebody in your life, I say this all the time, you have somebody in your life that you may not like, or you feel doesn't resonate with you, like, take a closer look at that picture. You know, sometimes the things that we don't like about others are actually mirrors as to what's going on with ourselves. So right now there might be a very, very big lesson with some of the people that we don't necessarily like, is kind of sitting with our brain. If we allow it to be like, okay, well, I don't like this quality. Okay, that's something that exists in me. That's something that I want to change, or something that I want to chisel away from my persona, because that is not me. These are just temporary vibrations that I have accumulated over years and years and years. And the thing is to be very, very, very fucking gentle with yourself as to the layers that you're pulling away right now that aren't yours. Because when you push yourself too hard on certain things, it doesn't end up good for anyone. It's explosive. It's destructive. When you can look at these layers like they are not yours, and you can slowly pull them away and be able to coddle yourself and give yourself that aftercare, or be gentle with yourself when you're pulling these things away, the changes that are meant to come will follow very easily. So yeah, I don't know. I guess this video is really about, all right, this is the rebirth video. Like, what do you wish to create? What is yours? What feels like it's yours? What is already yours right now? I mean, these things aren't going to be always permanent, but feel what you have now. And more things that come into because gratitude, what it is really just heart. Like, when you're so grateful for certain things and it makes you tear up, or like you're around people who make you tear up, or whatever, or just like feeling the love, like, that is the essence of our being. Because we weren't put here with the feeling of lack. We were put here as beings of love, you know? So anyways, yeah, it's time to feel your love. That's a very big thing, is self-love is a big thing to practice at this time. Even if you don't feel like you know everything that you are, it's okay. Sometimes we need the reboot. I'm gonna let y'all go and go back to enjoying things. I did enjoy this conversation, but I don't know. I felt like I needed to make a couple videos today. It's definitely been odd not making videos, but I just feel that sometimes we go through these massive points, especially as intuitives, to and there's an ant again, to find our voice again, right? Just remember, there's a lot more beauty around you than what things may feel at this point. And just allow that feeling to fill you up. Breathe in the gratitude, right? Just breathe it in, because it's here. It's yours. It's yours now. It always will be, if you'll allow it to be. Sounds super corny, but here we are. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the sun today.